There are a lot of things to take into consideration when you're looking to choose a career path within biotechnology. In my opinion, the things that you look for in the first place choosing a career path are your interests, the job market, and how good of a living can you make from it. One of the most important aspects is the money, if you're being honest. The amount that you're going to make has to be attractive in order for you to choose that career path in that direction. I have already said in my previous videos that biotechnology has a huge variety of career paths that you can choose from. But in order to pursue a specific career direction within biotechnology, you need to be convinced from the beginning by the field or that specific industry that you're interested in. Hey guys, and welcome to the Biotech channel. In this video, I'll try to present a somewhat clear picture of 3 of the most developed biotech sectors that have better career paths to offer and, relatively speaking, pay a little bit better compared to the other branches of biotechnology. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are not good or they have less importance or anything. That just means that they're a little bit smaller than the top 3 at this point. But they're still developing at a very nice pace and will have much more to offer in the years to come. So the 3 main biotech sectors that I'm going to talk about, which as of now are more evolved than the others. Just an FYI, all the information in this video are from external sources which deal with markets and salaries by making estimates mostly. The exact numbers for these sorts of topics when it comes to money is not possible. There is always an estimated range on these websites for salaries. I also checked some individual job offers, but wasn't able to find the amount that mostly the companies have to offer their starting level employees, which is exactly what I experienced when I was looking for a job in the biotech industry. And according to my observation, the companies in the US and Canada sometimes do mention their numbers, but in Europe it is less often, which is not surprising because people in Europe, mostly here in Germany, don't like to talk about their salaries. Enough said. Let's look into the topic for today. So the 3 most evolved sectors within biotechnology are agricultural or green biotechnology, white or industrial biotechnology, and red or pharmaceutical biotechnology. Some basics first. The most number of jobs are offered by the red biotech industry, followed by the green, and then the industrial biotechnology. But the salaries offered by these industries are not in the same order. The thing about agricultural biotechnology is that in places like Europe, some things within the green biotech industry are a bit controversial, especially here in Germany or in Central Europe, if I may. And why is that so? That's a different topic. I know some of it, but I don't know a lot about it, so I'll just skip over it. But globally, the green biotech industry is much more free to operate and to research. That's why the green biotech industry outside of Europe or outside of Central Europe is much more evolved and developed, especially in the US and Latin America. So how much do the green biotechnologists get paid? They actually get paid well above average, but on average they don't make as much as biotechnologists in the red or white biotech industry. And I'm talking about entry-level biotechnologists here. Working in different biotech industries have different salary range for entry-level biotechnologists. So let's look into the green biotech industry for entry-level biotechnologists. The number of jobs offered by the green biotech industry is pretty good actually, but it's not as much as the red biotech industry, just because the red biotech industry is much bigger. Entry-level biotechnologists in green biotech industry make a little bit less than entry-level biotechnologists in red biotech industry. That doesn't mean that all the pharma biotechnologists earn more than agrobiotechnologists. It just means that on average, red biotechnologists may earn more on entry level, which means that you might get a job at agrobiotech company where you simply can make more than someone at pharma biotech company. And there are lots of other factors that influence the average salary of biotechnologists beside the type of biotech industry, like the size of the company or your qualifications and the position that you're applying for or the location of the company. But on average, it's more probable to earn more at a biopharma company than an agrobiotech company. I wasn't able to find the total number of jobs offered by the green biotech industry, at least not from a reliable source, but the value of traded or exported products from the biggest exporters in the world like the US, Latin America, EU show us the value of the green biotech industry. But I was able to find some numbers for the US. The industry in the US offers almost 1 million agricultural biotech jobs out of 2.3 agricultural jobs in total that they have to offer. which shows how big of an industry it is in the US. And if you want to build your career in green biotechnology, try to find something in the US because you get paid more, it is more developed and evolved, and it has more jobs to offer. I wasn't able to find the entry-level salary range for green biotechnologists from a reliable source, but if you look for yourself, you will find out that the difference between starting salaries for green biotechnologists, depending on which website you're looking at, has a difference of more than 100% in some cases. And speaking for myself, I wouldn't trust these sorts of websites. And I don't know anyone personally who works at a green biotech company. That's why I'm reluctant to show any numbers from these websites here. And I don't want to spit out some numbers just because. But you can research for yourself, and I will link some websites in the description just so you can see what I mean by all this. And as always, I will link all the websites in the description that I took information from for this video, so that you may also be able to look into these websites if you like to. Now, the white biotech industry. The white biotech industry offers the most secure working contracts as the industry is based mostly on production than research. I mean, sure, there has to be research done before you can start the production, but the research part in industrial biotech is not that time consuming as compared to the research in pharma or Red Biotech-Industry projects. And the financing required to complete or perform the research in the first place on most of the white biotech products are considerably less as compared to the red biotech projects. And the funding usually doesn't get cut off in white biotech projects, or the projects just don't get cancelled as they do many times in the red biotech, so that people get to keep their jobs in this case, which happens a little bit more often in the red biotech area. So in white biotech industry, they mainly focus on production, analytical processes, and the constant improvement, of course. Well, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it, of course, and I'm oversimplifying it, I know, but these are basically the main steps at a white biotech company, which don't necessarily need that big of a funding or take as long to complete. So let's talk about the salaries within white biotech industry. So the average salary in the US for white biotechnologists, according to my research, ranges from $75,000 to $92,000 per year, with advanced degrees like master's or a PhD. And with some work experience and an advanced degree, it can range from $120 to $150K every year. And if you compare the salaries for industrial biotechnologists in Germany to the US, it's significantly less. For instance, some statistical databases for salaries in Germany claim that the industrial biotechnologists have relatively secure jobs and have the best average salary that ranges from $39,000 to $50,000 every year at entry level. It is more realistic and true. There are some foreign websites that claim that German industrial biotech sector offers on average $75,000 every year on entry level, which simply is not true, at least not for entry level biotechnologists. So look for the source wherever you're trying to get your information from. I have friends who work at companies and earn like 3 to 4 or sometimes 4.5 thousand every month. A good friend of mine actually works as a biotechnologist at a research organization called Fraunhofer here in Germany and earns around 3,400 with a master's degree. And don't forget, the taxes are really high here in Germany. Usually, as a single person with no kids, you are going to have tax deductions of about 35 to 40%. And the 3,400 is actually before the tax deductions, which is not that much, but it is above average actually. And don't forget, with more work experience and more qualifications, you can boost your own demand, which will put you in a better place to negotiate a better salary with your company. And yes, there are some variables that we talked about on which your salary may depend upon. According to a report, the white biotech industry is expected to exceed $299 billion in 2021 globally, which in 2019 is around $134 billion. So by these estimates, the white biotech industry will skyrocket in the next few years, and with that, the job offers will increase as well. Now, the red biotech industry. The most important and highly established biotech industry is the red or pharmaceutical biotech industry. It has always been the most important biotech sector in terms of revenue and by the investments. So how much is your salary going to be as an entry-level biotechnologist at a biopharma company? Let's look at the US first. According to some websites, in the US, you can make as an entry-level biotechnologist $85,000 to $90,000 with a master's or a PhD preferably. Individual job offers which I checked didn't mention the salary, but words like attractive or good wage are more frequently used in Red Biotech job offers. Same is the case in Germany. I wasn't able to find the exact amount the companies had to offer. But for Germany, there are some other reliable sources like Gehalt.de or Biodeutschland.org or Academics.de that showed that the salary as an entry-level biotechnologist in Red Biotech-Industry would most probably be $39,000 to $50,000 per year. And again, there are a lot of other factors that come into play, which I already have mentioned in my other videos and in this video multiple times actually. The salaries for Red and White Biotech might be the same, but the chances are that you might be able to negotiate a better salary at a biopharma company than an industrial biotech company. But that's not always the case. And also, the Red Biotech industry is more saturated. That means there's more competition in that sector. And as I mentioned earlier, you can never be sure of how much you're going to make at a company, especially if it's your first job. It depends on a lot of other factors, as I have mentioned multiple times. And keep in mind, if you have a nice and impressive portfolio, you might be able to negotiate a better deal for yourself. According to an estimate study, the Red Biotech industry is expected to exceed $550 billion by 2027, which in 2019 was worth $320 billion, which is almost 2 times as big in almost 8 years. To sum up, the 3 main biotech industries are agricultural, industrial, and pharma biotechnology. The biggest of them all in size is the red, then comes the green, and then comes the white biotech industry. On average, the white and the red biotech industries pays better than the green, but the jobs offered by the white biotech industry are significantly less than the other two. The most number of jobs are offered by the red biotech industry. If you want to be able to earn the best salary that you can possibly earn, I would recommend you find something in the US. Simply because the US leads in almost all the biotech sectors, so it has the most number of jobs to offer, and it pays really the best salaries possible. And besides, most of the biggest biotech companies are American. I already made a video about the top biotech companies in the world. You can watch it if you haven't already. I'll try to link it here somewhere. So that's been it for this video. If you have any questions, just comment them down below. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can, but I'm not promising any quick replies. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.